Good morning. I wanted to talk today about the nature of God and the nature of creation. And this really is explained well in sort of the New Age spiritual masters as the law of attraction. And it's not called law of attraction, but the law of attraction does appear throughout almost every major religion and spirituality throughout the world. So um, the first major example we have of this is in, of course, the Judaic Torah, the Old Testament, and it's in the book of Exodus, and this is when Moses approaches the burning bush and is told to go to Egypt and free the Israelites. And when he asks, who are you? God gives him his name. And I apologize, my Hebrew isn't very good, but he says Ewa Esher Ewa, and this has been anglicized as Yahweh. In English, it is I am that I am. And the interesting thing about this passage is ancient Hebrew did not have tenses. So what I mean by that is there was no past, present, or future tense for this saying. So when God said, I am that I am, in ancient Hebrew that also translates to I am that which was, I am that which is, and I am that which will be. All in one little phrase. And God did not say to Moses, I am the doer. He said, I am that I am. It was a very specific choice of the verb to be, meaning that the creation is within the being. So it's a passive experience just by the nature of being God is. So when you use the words I am, you are using the words of God. And we are taught in almost all religions that, of course, man was made in God's image or was created in the divine's image. Whether that means physical form or spiritual non-form is of course up for debate. But when you say I am, be very careful what you put after the phrase I am, because you are using the same words that God gave to Moses. And this is where the law of attraction comes in through the Old Testament. In the Tao Te Ching, it says that the Tao does nothing but leaves nothing undone. So again, by nature of being, all things are created. And so if you want to create something in your life, if you want to manifest something in your life, you have to be that. And the Tao also talks about this in verse 6, about the nature of creation and how all of creation comes through but isn't done. So it's very, very interesting. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about the higher self and meditation and how becoming one with him is about being. So this also appears in the Bhagavad Gita, and that if you want to be one with God, you must be as God. You must attract God through your being. And he refers to this as the self, capital S, self. In the Quran, the Quran is very specific with the law of attraction without actually calling it the law of attraction. Allah says, be grateful and I will give you more. Meaning that if you want to attract abundance into your life, you must be grateful for it. You must be grateful in a way that you know that you are blessed. And by having the feeling of being blessed within you, you attract more of that. In the Upanishads, they say, and I apologize if I mispronounce this, Tvat Vam Tasi, which means you are that. So you have the Upanishads, which is Indian, really doesn't have anything to do with Judeo-Christianity, and you have you are that. And that is a very interesting mirror, wouldn't you say, to I am that. So, and in the Upanishads it was, you must become that which you seek. You must become the self, with a capital S, the highest self. I'm honestly blown away just through study of the various religions and philosophies, how much this has been a recurring thread. It really is, it's phenomenal. So the point being, in order to attract that which you want into your life, you have to be that. And creation is the realm of the divine, right? It's the nature of the divine. The divine is the creator. So if you want to create wealth, abundance, love within your life, you have to be wealth, abundance, love. And I think this was a very interesting lesson about the nature of God, because God doesn't understand things like poverty. God doesn't understand things like hate. God doesn't understand lack. So, because that's not within God's nature. So you can't get rich by focusing on being poor. You can't get healthy by focusing on being sick. You can't become loving and attract love while focusing on hatred. And I think this is a very tough lesson for the majority of us on earth. But the nature of creation, the nature of attraction, is being that which we want to attract. And this is, again, a universal thing throughout the major religions. And I'm sure there are many more that you could find that would support this. I just touched on a few. Another one, Buddha said, you become what you are. So when you become what you are, I am that. It's all the same sort of thing. And it's definitely changed the way I've thought about things. I'm learning to be much more cautious with my thoughts, because my thoughts are my currency. I'm learning to be much more cautious with how I look at things. I choose to look at things as blessings and see the way in which everything in my life benefits me. Because when I look at the benefit, I attract benefit. That is the nature of attraction. That is the nature of creation. That is the nature of manifestation. That is the nature of God. Food for thought.